Nasruddin. So he says, okay, let me take this opportunity. I am going to prove my wife wrong because I can do things right. So he goes to the market doing this self-talk that Nasruddin focused 4 donkeys, 4 donkeys, 4 donkeys, 4 donkeys, 4 donkeys. So he walks to the market, he goes to the best person who can sell him those donkeys and tells him that I want 4 donkeys. So the shopkeeper tells him, why did you have to come to buy the donkeys? Go home, I will send it to you. He said, no, I don't want to take any risks. My wife has given it as a test. So I am going to take all the 4 donkeys myself and take it back home. So the shopkeeper says, so be it. If you would like to take it, then please wait. Let me go and get the best donkeys for you from my farm. So the shopkeeper goes back to his farm, selects the best of the best donkeys, brings them to Nasruddin, hands it over to him and collects his money and bids him goodbye. Nasruddin is elated and happy that finally he has those 4 donkeys for which he had come, and now he has to go back to his wife and prove a point that he can actually do things right. So Nasruddin takes those 4 donkeys and then he starts walking back home, and then he realizes it's tough for me to control all the 4 donkeys by running behind them. So let me do this intelligent thing. Let me sit on one of the donkeys and then control the 3 donkeys so that they can't force me to run, because this donkey will indirectly match the pace with those 3 donkeys. So with those 3 donkeys in front and he behind on the donkey, he goes towards the house. Now as he's approaching his house, he stops there and he tells Nasruddin, gather your senses. You are going to prove your wife wrong because you have your 4 donkeys. So he says, let me be more sure. Let me check all the donkeys once again and then go to the house. And he starts checking, he only can count 3 donkeys in front of him. He's like, what happened? Where did the 4th donkey go? Because he was so sure from the minute he went out till the minute he took it from the shopkeeper, and now at the door of his house, he is only able to see 3 donkeys. He gets worked up. He's like, what is wrong with me? No, again my wife is going to come back to me and say, you are moron! He doesn't do it. He doesn't do anything. But before he realizes, his wife is at the door. Before he could allow his wife to talk, he opens up his mouth and says, don't scold me. I know I goofed up once more. I have only got 3 donkeys. His wife looks at him and smiles and says, actually I've got 5 donkeys. But what's the point here is we miss the obvious. We end up writing our scripts. We end up writing our speeches. We end up preparing for our speeches without keeping the obvious thing in mind that we need to leave a message. And let me tell you here, it's not multiple messages which gets conveyed through a speech, it's just the one message. So the fact is, if you can narrow down, drill down, chunk it down to one single message, the earlier the better, because that is the starting point for you to write your script. That is the fundamental step with which you should begin writing your script, because that becomes the guiding force. That is like your compass. It shows you where you got to go. And once you got your compass fixed, rest is just to travel the journey. It's just to travel the distance and complete the journey. So the point here what I'm trying to make is have your message absolutely crisp and clear before you begin to put your pen on the paper. Am I clear? Yes. Now once you have your message, then you need to take the journey. Now when you take the journey, you start equipping yourself with a lot of things which can give you comfort. Right? So maybe you may choose a car or a train or a flight or whatever it is. Then you pack your material, your clothes or your belongings, and then you also pick up people to travel along with you. So when it comes to speech, you pretty much do the same thing. That's crafting your speech. The first and the foremost you do when you are ready with your message and you get going with the journey is have characters. Every speech, whether you like it or not, will have characters. Be it real characters or be it virtual characters. Take today's two speeches for example, the speech which was given by Sneha and the speech which was given by Raja. You still had characters. Whether it was Subhash or her friend or the guide who said, Madam, 1, 2, 3, jump. So characters are there. So every speech have characters. So you need to keep those characters, and more importantly, you need to develop those characters for your audience. One line, one word, or a statement can make a big difference because audience will start understanding what is the type of person you are trying to talk about. Say in Sneha's speech, she spoke about the nerd was enough for us to actually paint a picture as to what she was in her college days. In Raja's speech, when he said the topper among the idiots was enough because you could visualize one topper in our class of idiots when we studied. It may not be Subhash, but yes, we had one topper in the class of idiots. So that is important. You develop the characters because the audience will start seeing your point of view through them. So character development becomes absolutely important and necessary when you write and script your speech. The next point when it comes to crafting your script is context. You need to set the context. Today, for example, let me just share this. This happened today with me, between Dikshit and me. We were talking to each other on the telephone, and out of nowhere, he says, dude, if Manasa is wanting to come in your car, take her, no, she's a girl. I'm like, excuse me, what are you talking? He's like, oh, I'm sorry, we were talking about orations and trip to Goa. We all thought we'd drive down from Hyderabad to Goa, and there were 3 seats in your car and the 4th seat was vacant. And that time I volunteered and said, I am going to be there in the 4th seat. Now I wanted to tell that if she wanted to come with you in the car, just take her with you. I will take another alternative source of transport and I'll come to Goa. Now what happened? The context was absolutely not there. We are talking something totally different. And he out of nowhere in the blue, he tells me, if Manasa wants to come with you in the car, take her, no, she's a girl. But we don't realize that when we write speeches, we often do this. Because you are into the speech, you are into the script, but your audience are not into the script. But you inject a particular statement so drastically that you feel, why the hell is the audience not getting the point? Why will they get the point? Because they are in a different trance altogether. You are in your trance, they are in their trance. How will the merging or the connection happen? Context development becomes that much more important and critical for them. So, for example, today's speech, she developed the context saying that we were there on the last day of our MBA college or a degree college. We all wanted to go to Rishikesh. So, you could start visualizing the context and also a group of friends going for a party or a time pass or a holiday. Then you know the kind of notorious stuff which happens when a group of friends go. Examination hall is again a context. So when you start owning up the speech, these are the things which will play between you and the audience. Because audience will start owning your characters, audience will start owning your context, and thereby they end up owning your speech. And as a speaker, my job is to make my speech yours. If my speech becomes yours, and there is no way that my message does not get translated. So if you have to make my speech or my speech to yours or your speech to theirs, the idea is develop your characters, set the context. Whatever may be the context. In today's speech, we saw different context. In different speeches, you have different context. But then there is a fact that every speech has a context. And if you don't inject that context before, your characters will fall flat, your speech will fall flat, your message will not get transferred. So am I clear with you? So the first important point is
characters.
The second important point is
Context.
So if you have the character in place and you have the context in place, now tell me, it's anybody's guess. What will be the third important factor to complete this line? Content, okay? Content happens to be your character and context. Can you think of anything else other than content without character and context? It is a part of your content. Problem, connect, One thing is common to all of you. Yeah. Message. Yeah. Again, you are common to all of you. Delivery. Yeah. You are also common. Because all of you are wrong. So content, connect. Yeah. What is that? Message, delivery. No. Conversations. You have developed your characters. You have set the context. Let them speak. And through that, you are communicating your message. Now, when he was speaking to Subhash through the chat, he's actually telling you about his conversation. And you are seeing it. When she was being cajoled and coaxed by a group of friends, there was a conversation which was happening. The guy telling Madam 1, 2, 3 jump is a conversation. Because you could actually picturize some guy dressed in a khaki dress standing there on the rock next to her and waiting for her to jump. Conversations. So conversations can be on two plans, on two parameters or two planes. One, direct, where you have two characters and say, Ramu is speaking to you, or I am speaking to somebody. At the same time, you can also have a conversation which is indirect. That means I am speaking to myself. That still is a conversation. Say, for example, when I say that I always wanted to stop that guy on the road who is a stranger to stop littering. That's a conversation which I am talking to myself that I always wanted. And when you tell that conversation coming up, you are actually connecting to people here because somewhere you would have felt the same thing. Somewhere you would have felt the same thing. Somewhere somebody else would have felt the same thing. And that's where it gets invited to the speech. So once you have your character, then your context, and then you have conversations, then this invisible diagram slowly starts to get completed. And then you come up with the sweet spot. This sweet spot is what two people told as connect. This becomes the connect. And this is where all your characters, all your context, and all your conversations conspire together. And when all those things come together, you make your speech the audience speech. Audience will start owning up your speech. This is something which is close to me. This is something which I have been experiencing. This is something which I agree. And this is something which I don't deny. Once you make that kind of a connect, then you get something which is called invisible ingredient. That invisible ingredient is your conviction. Once you have the character, you have the connect or the context, and then you have the conversation, you get the connect, and the connect will give you the invisible ingredient, that is my conviction. So I know what precisely I am going to talk and present to you all, and I know my message is going to come straight to you, and I believe in my message, so I am standing here to talk to you and give you my message loud and clear. That's the conviction which we should achieve once we say we have finished writing our speech. The minute you pen down your speech and put the last full stop on your speech, you must be able to get this conviction. You must be able to get this conviction, sir. I believe, and this is precisely what I wanted to talk. Once you get it, the rest is only a consequence. The rest is about your stage presence, your body language, your vocal variety, your voice modulation, your eye contact, and the vocabulary choice. That comes later. That's not the domain of mine today. My domain is craft your script. So if you want to craft your script, you got to be an artist in developing characters, in setting the right context, and making the right conversations. When you can make the right conversations between the right characters, at the right context, you hit a sweet point, which is the connect. And that connect gives you the invisible ingredient, which is the connection. So you have all these things. Your script is good to go. Your script is ready to enthrall, to charm, to mesmerize your audience. And at the end of the day, as you rightly said, only objective of the speech, which is to pass the message, gets crisper, clearer, and great. This is what I wanted to give you. Now I open for questions. If you have any questions, I would be more than happy to answer. Thank you very much. How much time I have? 2 minutes. I have 2 more minutes.
So, Chandra, does this framework, does it render itself good to specific type of speeches, or do you think this is good for all speeches? For example, if I'm saying giving informative speech, let's say about what to do on a weekend in Hyderabad. So, does this framework again fit with that kind of scenario, or is it more of you're trying to persuade someone? There I can see this. But for an informative speech, how can characters and what condition do you need for an informative speech is important? Okay.
Good question. First thing, whom are you informing?
Audience.
So you need to inform audience. Through whom?
To myself.
To yourself. How will you inform the audience when you don't bring in a character? Now you say Golconda is the right place to visit on a weekend. How did you come to know about Golconda?
Because I've been there.
With whom?
Friends.
Character. Got it? So when you tell them to talk something which can attract the audience to go to Golconda, then you're using a character. When your friend standing on top of the hill at Golconda says, dude, it feels awesome to be on top. How can they think of a natural air conditioner so long ago in their life? That's a character. You're asking your friend to speak, and then you tell them, you want to experience a natural air conditioner? Go to Golconda this week. So it basically fits into all kinds of speeches. That's why I told Amulu, it's not for ISC. It might be used for ISC. That's okay. But the fact remains that it is applicable to all speeches. You go back. In fact, this is applicable to all movies. 3 Idiots. Now you can tell me characters. What are the characters which stuck to us in 3 Idiots? Context. The IIMD campus or the engineering campus there. And then the conversations. All is well, all is well, all is well. So everything has it. Every speech has it, every good story has it. In fact, the reason why stories are so successful and so very nicely knit together is because it has character development, it has conversations, and it has context. Mullah Nazruddin. Even a donkey was used as a character. But it sent you the point very crisply and clearly that do not overlook the obvious. My time is up. Thank you very much for your patient listening. All the best.